What's up, people? This is Rob Barrington here, and this is our final results video for the month of March. And right here, you will see our final standings for the month. The amateurs, I have to say, did a really good job this month of keeping the pros out of high scores. This last week, we saw a little bit of a downturn in the number of pros that were playing, and that's mainly because most of our pros that play in this event are actually heading over to Italy to play in the World Championships. So you're playing against some good players every week, and here is this final list of our champions for the month of March. John Hurd held on to his lead, and his partner Kevin Bathurst came in second place, and Raluca Debrescu caught up at the very end with a huge third place finish to jump ahead of Ish Del Monte. So here we have our top three, our top four really. The top three get the pays though. So here, congratulations to these great pros, and good luck to John Hurd and Kevin Bathurst as part of Team Spectre that are heading to Italy to play in the Immutable World Championship event. So good luck to all you guys. And we'll see you back in the tournament when you get out of Italy and hopefully bring home the goods. So we'll see you next time. Until then, guys, let's jump in and see the boards that we played this past weekend. And we'll start with board number one, which was kind of a weird result, I have to say. Everyone should have played the same thing. East opens one heart. As you can see, there's 6-5 in the reds. This is perfect opening bid. And South has just a totally normal double, right? So it goes a heart double. 2-no trump by West here is interesting. This is usually the Jordan raise, but let me just dial this in for you guys if you were curious or freaking out about it. This should always be a 4-card raise, guys. Right, this 2-no trump bid should be a 4-card raise. There are other ways to raise with less cards. You can play transfer raises. You can also redouble and then raise later with 3-card support. So there are a lot of ways to do this with 3, but this 2-no trump bid should be a 4-card raise. Now, as you can see, the robots play this as 3+ for some reason, and that's fine. That's what the robots agree. In the real world, I would kind of keep this to a 4-card raise for sure. And again, it's invitational or better. So it doesn't have to be that like Jacoby 2-no trump range. Don't get this confused. This is a different spot, right? The double in the South player's chair changes things dramatically for the opponents, right? It's so unlikely this person's going to have 13+ that this is just our invitational 4-card raise. It should be, even though the robots play it as 3. And then North gets in there kind of aggressively with their 3-club bid. It's interesting because they do have 4 clubs to kind of pick off, and they do have some values, but 2 of their points, their values are kind of bad, right? Queen 10-3 of the opponent's suit, and the fact that they're flat. I mean, I'm glad the robot is aggressive with their actions here, but this one might have been just a little bit too aggressive, especially on this auction where it sounds like the opponents are pretty strong, right? Do you really want to be playing at the 3 level? As it turns out, you can see it didn't matter. East just jumps to 4 hearts, and this is based on their shape and nothing more, right? And that's kind of how you should know, as the South player at least, that the shape is going to matter on this hand, right? You're looking at 12 points yourself. You see that Lefty has already made a Jordan bid, kind of showing a good hand, and North makes a call as well, which has to be some values, right? So here, even before you make your opening lead, you should understand that there's a lot of shape going on around this table. So you're looking at the best results here, but you look at this. There's a myriad of results here. It's down 1, making 4, making 5. Let me show you double dummy, right? Double dummy. The robots should always make 5, right? It shouldn't matter what you lead. There are easy pathways to making 5, and I have to be honest, they made 5 against me. But you can see some of you were nipping at a trick, others were holding it to 4. And it wasn't necessarily anything that you did specifically. It was more what the robot did to blow a trick or two here and there. But let's take a quick peek. This is the opening lead you want to make with the robots when you have ace king. It's weird, I know. Most of you play ace from ace king, and it's just automatic to bang the ace down. But the king is the right lead specifically with the robot. They play king from ace king. But as you can see, I'm looking at Archie Mack here, who's one of the ones who beat it a trick. And let's see how they did it here. They led the king of diamonds, which is the standard lead. That's a good spot here. And then I believe most of us, and including myself, I believe switched to a trump. But here we saw a club switch, and this just kind of got the robot off to the wrong spot here. They rough, and then they actually draw, I think both rounds are, I'm sorry, they draw one round, they rough a diamond, and then they play a club. They're never setting up spades on this hand, which is weird, right? That's a nice suit to set up over there for some extra tricks. We can foil that a little bit by ducking from our side, but here they just kind of start playing clubs and roughing, and then they go back with a diamond rough at some point, but here, no, sorry, they didn't even. Now they cash the king of hearts, and now they're just leaving themselves with a loser to the queen. And at this point, after one round of ducking, right? Very nice by Archie here. We're holding up just to kind of keep them off of that table in that spade suit. And here you see they just get cooked at some point. Now we hop up with our ace. And now we can play ace of diamonds, diamond, and our partner's going to score their rough. Or we just play ace of diamonds and partner will just score their queen of hearts naturally at some point. So here, this was a pathway to down one, right? And this was going to get it a trick in any spot. Those of you that held it to just making four, let's jump into a table like that. Here's AZ Carroll. We'll see that the king of diamonds was led, and here came a club. Yep, that was the pathway to holding them to four or beating it, actually. A lot of people who maybe let them make a little bit more. Let's jump down here. Let's see what I did, actually. You'll notice I think I played the king of diamonds for the first time. To be honest, I usually just play the ace from ace king because I'm just so used to doing it. But here I actually get the lead right. I'm patting myself on the back. And then when I switch to a trump, I end up just kind of pickling my partner's honor, right, which happened at this table, and now it's easier for them to be making five, especially if they just start playing spades at some point, right? They'll get there, right? So at this point, you know, that's what most of the people did that let them make five, and still 40.6%, you're not doing too bad. There were still some results that were even worse down here. So if you decided to sacrifice with this hand, well, you know, you were punished accordingly, unfortunately. You don't want to sacrifice with this hand. In fact, take a look, guys. The hand could have way too much defense, right? You could just, and remember, your partner bid freely at the 3 level, right? So here, I wouldn't think about sacrificing because honestly, it's not clear they're making 4 hearts, right? So on this one, I would just be letting them play hearts and getting, you know, if you let them make 5, which they can always make, by the way, you'll only get 40%. But if you hold it one trick, 73.5. And if you beat it a trick somehow, 97.9. So not the worst. Now, board number 2 is just, it's a pro beater. so here, you're looking at my table. I opened a no trump on board number 2. And I will tell you this. When I have this shape, especially when my singleton is in one of the minor suits, I usually open a no trump when I have the values, right? I'm not stretching to open one no trump with these hands. But if I have 15, 16, or 17 and I'm a 4x1, with the robot, I will frequently open one no trump because it's usually plus EV on the results side of things. It wasn't on this one, clearly, unless we'll take a look at Raluca, who was in one no trump making 4 over tricks and see what she did. But here, this is my table. I opened a no trump and it went all pass. And you can see the flaw with this, guys. This is why the pros sometimes get punished for odd plays, and this is certainly an odd choice with this hand. When we open a no trump, we are now just getting out of a spot where we can have a 4-4 major suit fit, right? And here you can see when partner doesn't have enough points to bid Stamen, we don't get to find that fit, right? So now we have to sit here and toil away in one no trump while others, I don't know if we'll ever get to 4 hearts on this hand, but any other pair that gets to play hearts gets to crush this, right? You're going to take 10 tricks while the rest of us are going to lose 5 clubs and the ace of spades and only make 1 no trump. Like, look at this in no trump. But let's look at Raluca's play here. This was a huge save for her. This probably was one of the results that got her into 3rd place. And take a look. It is as simple as this. She plays the 6 of clubs from the dummy, which seems so bizarre that it would trick the robot. But watch what happens. She chooses to play the 6, and that is the dummy, folks. They can see this hand. But just that odd play. If I played low from dummy and they just ripped off 5 clubs and the ace of spades, and I made 1, right here, they actually switch for you. They switch for her, and then she just has to kind of find a way to knock out the spade without them realizing that clubs is good. And watch, she does that right here. And boom, they come back a spade. So this is a spot where, yeah, if you open a no trump, you are getting punished unless you're Raluca, who that 6 of club play apparently just completely bamboozles the robots, and it leads to this nice play. But here's the moral to the story, guys. When you open up variants, which you can see I did on this hand for sure, When you bid a no trump, you're just leaving yourself out there in a lot of these spots, especially early on. So for me, bad start, because I can see either of these major suits is going to be so much better, right? We only have one club loser in those spots, right? But in different spots where we maybe didn't have a major suit fit and partner had reasonable clubs, maybe our one no trump bid obscured our hand enough to get us a better score in a different scenario, right? So here, the biggest mistake I'm making on this hand is I believe that first result, at least before I see the results afterwards, was probably pretty average, right? I didn't really do anything that was going to give them a huge advantage. However, right, I opened up variance on the second hand only because this is the type of hand that I like to open a no trump with the robots with. In a real world situation, folks, first of all, it's not even legal to open a no trump, right? You have a small singleton. So in a real world situation, you would always open a diamond and then raise whatever major partner gave you. It's interesting though, would you raise to the 3 level or just the 2 level? And it's close, right? You have a 16 count. And you have a singleton club. So yeah, if I opened a diamond and my partner bid a heart, I would definitely be bidding 3 hearts. I'm guessing that's what those of you that got to 4 hearts did. Sorry. Ooh, let's talk about this, folks. So I forgot. This is a good one. When it goes a diamond, 2 clubs, and I didn't realize that that is exactly what's happening. When you open a diamond and your left-hand opponent bids 2 clubs and it goes pass back to you, the bid you're almost always supposed to make is not 2 hearts, folks. It's double, right? When you are short in the suits that the opponent has overcalled and you open a suit, it goes suit overcall, pass back to you. You have a choice on whether you want to reopen the auction. Now, sometimes you might not reopen. You might just let them play, right? With a bad hand and a lot of their suit, you're not going to probably be wanting to bid something. But here, it is so important that we reopen the auction with a double. And we're doing it with the perfect shape, first of all. We have all the unbid suits, and that's what we're showing. It's a takeout double. But we are now allowing partner with those times where they have something much better than this, right? Let's say they have ace, jack, 10, 5th of clubs rather than 10, 3rd. Now they get to pass this double and get to play for penalty, right? When they double directly, that's the negative double, right? They're not able to do that when they have a good penalty situation. So they can't ever make a penalty double themselves. So that's why especially when we are short in their suit, we should reopen this with a double. And when we go about doing that, we will now see partner bid hearts, and then we can raise hearts after that, right, to show our extra values. But here, we want to give partner the chance to defend, especially when our hand's this good as well, right? So very, very big stuff. Let me see if anybody did that, if I can find anyone. There we go. AJM Bridge did this right, except I probably would. It's hard. It's so hard to deal with this because when you double, right, which is absolutely 100% correct, right? When you double, you're giving partner a chance to pass for penalty, but you're also forcing them to bid. So it's really sketchy to bid 3 hearts here, especially when partner's only willing to bid 2. If you did, they would probably kick it into game. But honestly, you didn't need them to kick it into game. This is AJM Bridge doing this absolutely perfectly and getting 71.7% for being in the right spot. Honestly, this game takes a little bit of work to make, so it's not necessarily the best game to even be in. However, you know, as you can see the cards, you would probably want to play in game if you were given this in a vacuum, you know. But here, just doing this correctly, though, gives you a much better score, especially from those of us that decided to open a no trump, which I will guarantee you when I scroll down these results, there's our group of 1 no trump openers right there. Poor people, including myself. 26.1% for getting into 1 no trump. And then some of you got to 4 hearts and actually went down 1. So we have a chance to do just a little bit better. We can't let them play 2 clubs, folks, right? If you let them play 2 clubs, you're just kind of letting them walk all over you. And also, just remember, folks, when this happens, right, when you're in this spot and you get to reopen with a double, right? You get to bid double and then it goes 2 hearts. You're getting the best of all worlds, guys. You're getting the opportunity to defend when it's right, but you're also just kind of skating into a nice fit when you do not have this. But when you're short in that opponent's suit, it is so important that you reopen double, because these are the times that partner is likely to have that length and is sitting over there with a stack of clubs and wants to double. If you have length, let's say you have 8/3 of clubs here and something else, now you do not reopen double. You may not reopen at all, but you're certainly not going to need to reopen double, because now partner can't have that stack over there. right? So the more clubs you have or the more of their suit you have, the less likely it is that you're going to be doubling. But here we're seeing LPDK getting it right as well. Good reopen of double here, and that is the best choice. Let's look at number 3. So for all of the odd results you'll see on this board, I think this is the best auction. And I'm not even including my auction in this. You open a diamond as the south player, and remember, when you're 4-4, you're always going to open a diamond. You'll see some pros flip-flopping the minor suits just to try to gain a little bit of variance in some spots. But in the real world, we're all opening this one diamond, right? This is the normal opening bid. 4-4, always diamonds. 3-3, always clubs, all right? So a diamond is open. It goes a spade on your left, and partner doubles. Perfect so far. East raises to 2 spades. And here's where we pass, folks. We pass this hand. We don't have enough values to be bidding. Partner shows about 8 or more points. If they're going to be bidding again, they're going to bid again. We already opened the bidding. We have nothing to show. And let me tell you this, guys. This is not a support double situation. A lot of you doubled. In fact, those of you that doubled likely got the best score. The opponents end up kind of bailing out to 3 spades, and you beat it a trick, so you crushed this result. But here's the deal. We do not play support doubles past the 2 level of a suit that partner is shown. And also, partner didn't bid hearts, guys. Partner doubled, right? We don't play support doubles when partner hasn't bid a suit, right? So here, I know that's what happened. I know a lot of you said, oh, partner showed some hearts. I'm going to make a support double here. That's not the case, right? In fact, a double here should show like a big, big hand, like 18, 19. In fact, here we go. Those are bidders here. Let's see. There we go. Right. So here, if you notice, that's a big hand, guys. That's like 18, 19. You're overselling this amazingly, right? So here, you did well, right? They actually bid 3 spades, and partner doesn't bid more, which is amazing. Partner should bid a game opposite your call, but they got spooked by the spade bids, so you guys get to defend, beat it 1 for 95.1%. The rest of us were around this spot. This is what I did. I liked a no trump with this hand for several reasons. Number one, I knew my second board was just terrible, right? So I knew I was a little behind here. And also, look at this hand. It's a solid 14 with a couple of 10s and whatever. I just decided to stretch. But here, the moral to this story is down 2 is pretty good bridge on this board. If you were able to go plus, you just get a massive score. But most of us were just in some contract going down 2. Which means this was the opponent's one to play. And when you do that, you get 82.1%, right? If you let them play 2 spades, which honestly, I think this is the best auction, folks. Archie Mack here, I think this is the best possible auction you can have. You end up getting unfairly punished for having a normal auction, letting them play 52%, right? And anyone that let them make a little bit more or got a little bit further out of whack themselves, once again, we're punished quite well. So here, just be mindful of this auction. This is the spot that a lot of people just get so wrong. You have to remember you've already opened the bidding, guys. Right? When you've already opened the bidding, you've passed that information along to partner. Give them a chance to get it right from their side. You don't have to reach out there in any way on this hand. In fact, you don't really want to. Right? Your partner should know you have these values at least. All right, guys, let's take a look at the next one, which is number 4. I was playing 1 no trump on this board, and I think this is the most normal auction, right? We open a club, our partner bids a spade, and we just bid a no trump, right? 12 to 14 balanced. We don't have anything to say, and we get to sit back and play 1 no trump. I was only able to take 8 tricks on this board, and they got off to a good lead against me, right? They got off to their club lead. It's weird. They switched to diamonds, though. And now we have a little bit of an opportunity for success, right? So we can run some diamonds. And really, from my perspective here, I'm just looking to get some heart tricks on the table at some point, right? I know I have some club losers, right? So I'm going to try to see if I can maybe take a heart finesse at some point for an extra trick. I know my club suit is wide open, so I'm happy to kind of be getting in here and taking as many tricks as I can. And once I play that king of hearts, the story is out there, so now I just took my 8 tricks and ran. Some people were able to make 9 tricks on this hand, only a few of you, but you were rewarded with 98.4%. That's a heck of a result there. In fact, let's drop in with Betsy Sherrill here. She played one no trump and made 3, and let's take a look. It's going to be the same for everybody. That's the cool thing about auctions like this. If you have a normal auction, or normal meaning you have the same auction as everyone else, basically, you're going to see the same start. And here she won the king of diamonds in her hand, and then led a low heart right away, and they split with their honors, right? So now it went king of hearts, 9 of hearts, back to this hand. And there went the queen. Now, at this point, as you can see, the robots could just now rip off a couple clubs and get some tricks that way. But honestly, the damage is done as far as Betsy's concerned. They haven't knocked out the spade. That's the key thing, right? So maybe breaking that heart suit early is even better, as we can see, because they don't get that the ability to take those tricks. So they took 3 tricks already, excuse me. So they can hold it to 2, just like the rest of us if they just cash their clubs. But they said, I don't want to do that. They let a spade, and now Betsy got to take her 9 tricks here, which is good stuff, right? That's one more than a lot of us did. But I think most of us were just playing 1 no trump, making 2. If you did that, you were going to get above average 66.5. And as always, guys, you don't have to worry about doing anything brilliant, really, right? And I have to say, this is probably the right call on this one as well. Pass out is following the rule of 15, and here's how the rule of 15 goes. I'm going to tell you the rule of 15, but then I want to caution you on it, because there's maybe an exception in these tournaments, right? So the rule of 15 goes like this: when you're in the 4th chair, which means we are the last player to bid on the first round, and it goes 3 passes to you. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to add your total high card points, which we can see is 12, and then we add to that the total number of spades we have, which is 2. If it comes to 15 or more, we should and can open, and if it's less, we should pass. So those of you that followed that rule, unfortunately, you were right to follow that rule in a realistic sense. But in a robot tournament, to be honest, it's usually okay to go against this rule unless you're less points and less spades. Like, say I had like an 11 count that I wasn't happy with and a stiff spade, now I would be a little bit more worried. But here, when you have the best hand, and you know you do, and in these tournaments, it's usually right to open. Passing out is usually not the best. It can be, and we've seen it be the best score in this event before. Unfortunately, today it was not. Because we were just able to go plus in a no trump contract, and the opponents weren't interfering with spades, because that happened to be a suit our partner was bidding, luckily for us. Right. So here, the second board in a row that I have to say the best bidders, and I would take these passes as some of the better bidders here, are getting a little bit unfairly punished on this hand. But in the future, just remember that one detail: when we are playing in a best hand tournament, passing out boards is usually not the best strategy, right? I'm just going to put that out there, right? When it's a best hand tournament, you're going to have better results if you bid. Not always, but usually. All right, let's see board number 5, halfway through. And here, I'm just going to dip in with my good friend here, Kelly Collard. She bid this hand perfectly. Some of the pros, including myself, took a different line here. And mainly, again, I knew I had at least one terrible board on my card, so I swung for the fences for the rest of this tournament. But this is the right auction, right? Partner opens a club. You bid your 4-card major, right? You're always going to bid your 4-card major. You bid a heart. Partner bids 1 no trump, and you just bid 3 no trump. And if you do that, they are going to lead a diamond, and you're just going to count your winners right away. You're going to see that you have a little bit of work to do, right? You have 3 diamonds. You have 2 clubs for 5, and the ace of hearts for 6. That's all you're starting with in this hand. It's kind of depressing. You should see potential for extra tricks in clubs, right? But this is not the easiest hand to deal with right away. It's a hand that you're always going to get the game on, right? You just have 13 opposite 12, and the North player is always going to open the bidding. So you're going to game force with the South player's hand. But it is not the easiest hand to deal with. Let's see. Let's see how Kelly did it, but let's also see how one of the other pros, John Hurd, did it here. Let's take a peek. And this was the pro tech at a couple tables, including mine. This is a risk again, right? This is another huge risk because John here is denying a 4-card major, right? One of a minor, any no trump bid denies a 4-card major 100% of the time, right? So this is a tactical choice, and it's one that gets the South player to play the contract, right? So I don't think it makes a huge difference. You can make it from either side, but if you get to play no trump from this side, you might get a little bit more help initially with a lead, right? They're going to lead a spade, and now it goes low to your jack. Pretty nice stuff, right? And at this point, here is where we have one extra trick, at least in the bank from now, right? We now have one spade winner. We know we're going to take 3 diamonds, 2 clubs, and the ace of hearts, right? So we still have a lot of work to do, right? So at this point, here's where John plays a club, and he gets to see what's going on there. The jack gets split, and that usually means they have both honors or that's some sort of shortness over there. So now he plays another club, and it goes 8, king. And now he just surrenders a club, which is interesting because he's surrendering it to left-hand opponent, but we did see the 10 of spades get played on the first trick. So we still have this kind of covered position in spades, right? And at this point, they now lead a heart, and I'm guessing he would duck this. Yeah, so here's the other thing. We have a 7-card side suit, and we're willing to let them take winners if it might be in exchange for us, right? So at this point, he safely ducks, and then he ducks again, and now when he gets back in to test hearts, or actually, look at this, they test it for him. Now he has the required number of winners to take 9, right? He's got 4 in the bank, and he has 3 diamonds is 7, the 10 of clubs is 8, and this 3 of hearts is 9. So that is winner, winner, chicken dinner. And that's how most of us who played this, you'll see this is my auction as well. Most of us had the same line of play if we bid it this way. There's that jack of spades. There's the club. And yep. Hoping to see the queen jack doubleton fall, but now when they get back in, okay, we'll let them just take their tricks, and then there it is, right? There's our 9th trick. Once they break evenly, we're getting a little bit lucky here in this one. So good stuff if you were playing 3-no trump and were able to make it. And let's see how another player, Karen Jenkins, plays this. Good job, Karkins. This was the perfect auction, and the lead came from the other side. So here it was diamond to the ace. And then I think we all are going to look at clubs as the best possibility for success, because really we don't need this to even break evenly if one of the honors is falling relatively short. So we're going to test this quickly. And here you'll notice, okay, now they get in, they lead a spade, and they hop ace on this side. And then they return a diamond, which Karen wins. And now she plays a low heart. Good play, right? She's just trying to set up extra tricks. And honestly, if you put the robots on lead, they're going to do some work for you, right? So here, they certainly get to the work that is needed because they plunk down the queen of spades. Thank you very much, robot. We will take 2 full spade tricks now. And now that club gets to pitch a heart, and we are up to 9 tricks at this table as well. So I'm guessing Kelly and Karen had similar lines of play in their 3-no trump contracts. So you have 2 pros and 2 amateurs getting there in different ways and taking the requisite numbers of tricks. So good job to anybody that was in 3-no trump making 3. Not an easy contract to look at, for sure. Those of you that were a little bit lower, to be honest, I don't think you bid enough, right? And just think of it, even though this is a scary contract, and I think, I'm guessing, can they beat us? I think they might be able to be, yeah, okay, so they can beat us on a lot of leads if they're careful. But, I mean, obviously, it's a really hard game, even when you're the robot, right? So here, not clear that you're going to get beat. But when you have 13 and partner opens the bidding, make sure you bid a game. That's all I'm telling you, right? Make sure you bid a game at some point. Right? You don't want to be below game because this is where those big scores are, 91.1 if you bid this one. All right, let's see number 6. So I had a weird auction on this one to get to 6 spades, but mainly because I stretched a bit. I opened 1 no trump with this hand. And again, you have to understand why I'm opening a no trump, guys. I'm opening a no trump because I'm sure I have 2 bad boards, at least on this scorecard. So I went kind of nuts when I'm making my bids. But with a balanced hand, I don't think I would ever open a no trump with 14. In a best hand tournament, I will do it quite frequently, to be honest. And look at the intermediate cards. I mean, I kind of fell in love with my 10 third, queen 9 8 fourth, king queen 9, right? So I'm looking for any excuse, essentially, is what I'm trying to tell you guys. But here, it's an interesting auction. It goes a no trump, 2 hearts by partner, transferred into spades. And then partner bids 3 diamonds. And with the robots, if you jump to 4 spades, you're showing no extra value. So I'm trying my best to tell partner, hey, yo, slow down a little bit if you got a good one over there. They didn't care. They actually just bid 4 no trump, which was key card, because I'd already shown a fit by bidding 4 spades over here, right? They gave me a choice by this 3 diamond bid. And it's just recognizing, I'm sorry if I'm going too quickly there. Once we transfer, right, and then we bid a new suit, which is what the North player did, that is game forcing. And the second suit is natural, right? It's 4 or more cards. So here, they're just fishing for a fit. Once I confirm a fit here with 3 or 4 spades, and 4 is just, partner, I have a bad hand. 4 no trump is just key card, right? Because we both know we have a spade fit. So now, whenever you get to this, if you feel like you've overbid your hand, which I clearly do at this point, whatever. Make sure you bid correctly, right? Some people might fake a key card response, and maybe if you really overstretch, that might make sense. We've seen some of the best pros do that on occasion when they've got caught, but here it's usually best just to answer and hope partner puts you in the right spot. And here 6 spades is a heck of a win, because look at what they lead. They lead the king of diamonds, folks. So when this happens, be thankful. This is why you don't lead singleton honors, by the way. But it's going to happen naturally anyway. You're going to play low towards that holding at some point, and they're going to hop king, and you're going to get the same information. But at least now you know that after you draw trump, right, you're going to get over there and you're going to take a diamond finesse, and here it is, right? Just finesse that jack, and once you do that, you have more than enough tricks to be successful here. You're just going to lose a club, and you're going to make 6. Let me take a look at a more traditional auction, folks. So this is kind of going to be your normal auction here. Abir Hassan did a very good job, and this is what the auction should be in the real world. You open a diamond with the South player's hand. North bids a spade. You bid a no trump. 12 to 14 balance. That's exactly what you have, and you're flat. So this is perfect. North bids 2 clubs, which is new minor forcing. And now, if you had a way to show a better spade hand, you would here. I'm not sure what that would be with the robots, but it's pretty normal just to bid 2 spades. And now partner bids 3 diamonds, which here should be forward going. And let's see what the robot puts us as. Make sure you're always looking, right? So 3 diamonds is, hey, I have a game forcing hand, and I just want to continue this. So at this point, 3 no trump, let's see, shows kind of a minimum here. I would try to show some sort of maximum, but it is important to, show your shape, right? And you're kind of confirming that you have some sort of balanced hand here, I'm guessing. But when you have this auction, partner just bids 4 spades and they end it. It's hard for them to want to bid a slam when you've shown 12 to 14 maximum as well. When you open a no trump, though, which again is not right in the real world, but some of the pros and or people that thought they might be behind in this event might have went this route, right? So here, take a look. Here's where we show secondary support and a maximum. So this player showed that, and partner now bid 3 no trump, offering that up, and South, or at least it looks like that's kind of an offer, which is weird. South decided to kind of sit for it, which I can't blame him with this flat hand. But notice, guys, even if you're here, if you're making 13 tricks in 4 spades, or you're in 3 no trump making 6, you're still getting a really nice score, right? So just do normal stuff. You don't have to do anything crazy. And here, if you did open a no trump, you get to play a slam. But, playing kind of normally is only 6% less, right? You get to take that many tricks. All right, guys, let's take a look at the last 2, 7 and 8. All right, so I have to share this is my hall of shame right here. This is John Hurd getting a 98.2%, which is, this is not right. This is not right. He went, I think I know he was having a terrible game, as this result might suggest. So he decided to open a club with this hand. Now this is going deep game, right? Some of you tried to no trump, and you were rewarded, but there were only a few of you. Just let's not be crazy here, right? So here, this is crazy. This is, hey, I'm having a bad game. I need a good result to do well. And it goes a club, a heart on his left, 3 clubs, 3 hearts on his right, and he bids 5 clubs with this hand, which honestly, after partner preempts and clubs, I'm kind of excited about this hand. I might even be making 5 clubs. And here, he business redoubles this thing. Look at this. It goes double on his right, which is penalty-ish, I suppose, and he just re-wraps it. And he gets to go only down 1, which he might think is a bad result, minus 400, until he sees that, the opponents are going to do pretty well in 4 hearts, which is honestly what the rest of the world is doing, right? This is the best auction, I think. You open a diamond, it goes a heart on your left, pass, 4 diamonds on your right. just double that. Double should just be, hey, partner, I have a good diamond suit, right? Just lead that suit. And that's exactly what it is. It doesn't show any extra values. It is just like, hey, partner, even though this is probably shortness, this is a splinter bid, I have good diamonds, lead that suit, and we'll figure it out from there, right? And then it goes 4 hearts, and you're passing, right? Some of us, I might include myself in this, bid 5 diamonds at some point, and we're now met with a 5 heart bid, which I believe our partner doubles, and maybe we double. I don't remember. A lot of people played 5 hearts doubled, minus 850 on this one. So here, if you just sit back and let them play their 4 heart contract, which they're destined to get to, you'll get an above average score. If you do something super weird, you should get punished severely. You don't, because you're John Hurd there, and the rest of these scores were just odd choices that ended up working well. Don't get discouraged by that, guys. You're going to have results like this in any event you play. And remember, those are also the players that are getting 12% and 6% on certain boards, right? So here you see the 5 heart doublers. I might be in that camp, I'm not going to lie. 6 diamonds down 3 for 800 isn't the worst score, because 850 is worse than that. So wacky hand, but really just letting them play 4 hearts is your best spot. And sometimes that's going to be the case, guys. You got to let them play their hands when they have them. All right, last but not least, board number 8 here. Let's drop in with Ish here. Ish had kind of an interesting auction because it goes a spade, pass, and no trump. And he just decides to kind of say, hey, I'm not going to try to do anything weird here. I'm just going to bid a game. Right? He kind of gets out pretty well on this one because he just says, okay, I'm going to kind of preempt, but I don't have a preemptive hand, and partner's already a passed hand. So he's kind of throwing a dart here, but in a really effective way, because it now goes pass, 4 spades. And with all of these outside tricks that look good in this sort of situation, he decides to rip it, and he gets it a trick, right? This is an easy hand to beat. You're destined to get 2 diamonds, a club, and a heart if you just take your winners, right? And here it's going to be pretty simple. Once they lead something, it's take your tricks time, right? So here they're not pitching anything at this point. Once they break open any of these suits, though, right? And notice once they break open diamonds, it's now going to be okay. Once they have a possible extra trick, it's time to cash. And here comes that king of clubs, right? At the last possible moment. Right, so at this point, 4 spades doubled down 1 is worth 98.2%. Those of you that just let them play 4 spades, and here's an auction where we bid 2 hearts over 1 no trump and then 4 hearts later. And I think a lot of players were doing something like this. Right? It's hard to resist with this particular hand. So we're eventually getting to 4 hearts and then letting them play 4 spades, and just nipping at that one trick gets you enough here, 79.6. So it's funny, the last 2 boards we played were all really about letting the opponent play their game, right? This one you happen to be beating if you get the requisite number of tricks. If you let them make it, you go from 79.6 to, some people were allowed to play 3 spades. That's kind of weird. 6.9% if you let them make that. So you were punished accordingly if they took 10 tricks. If you got to double it, that's great. It's interesting. It's a tough double because partner is unlikely to have a ton of stuff on this type of auction as well when they're willing to bid this much. But you end up getting a very nice little plus here from 79.6 up to 98.2 for that extra down there. So here, the moral to the story, especially for those last couple boards, is, all right, it's okay to let them play sometimes, right? Let them play. Get your best scores on defense, as you've seen in some of our events that we play on Wednesday morning as well. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Sorry for any delay with this. Sometimes I'm doing this absolutely post-game, so I don't really want to stay up till 1 a.m. on Sunday to do this. So sometimes if I'm a little bit jammed up on a Sunday, it might take till Monday morning for this to come out, but I hope you're enjoying this series. And I will see you at the tables in this first week of April's tournament, which starts this Friday and Saturday. So if you haven't signed up yet, it's in the description to this, just a link to that sign-up page. Once you sign up once, you don't have to ever sign up again. You're enrolled forever. So, guys, I will see you next week for this fun event. And until then, have a great day at the tables, folks. Take care.